So if I think back to the first time when I came to Egos, and what I've come to appreciate about Egos is that it has this feeling of being the best of two worlds. So you have a big conference feel in that you participate in a lot of things with an entire group of organizational scholars, around, I guess, over 2,000 from around the world. And so you go to subplenaries together, keynote speakers, and socials together. But then you also have these small sub-themes where you get to really meet with and engage with people over the course of the colloquium. So I really appreciate that kind of big conference feel, but also the little workshop feel.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would say the two keywords that come to mind are engage and explore. So I would say engage in your sub-theme in depth, talk to the people who are part of your community, who have lots to say about your topic. But at the same time, look beyond the sub-theme. There's plenty of other kind of events. There's subplenaries, there's socials where you can get new inspiration, where you can experience things that you haven't previously thought about or engaged with. And the combination of those two things, I think, is what makes EGO such a special conference.
I would have to say it's probably the gathering spaces that are scattered around. So when you come to the campus, you will see that there's, clusters of benches, clusters of seating areas. And for me, this really makes the campus much more lively because you'll always see groups of students, groups of people just clustered around. And it really has that vibrant feel to it.
Yeah, and I would add to that another great place is actually not on campus at all, strictly speaking. It's the nearby Prater Park, which is a huge kind of green area where you can also go take a walk, clear your head, think about all things research related or otherwise. And I really enjoy having those short walks and relaxing in between.
Or riding a roller coaster.
Or riding a roller coaster. Must seize.
I mean, for me, it would be the outdoor areas in Vienna. So these are the parks, like the Prater right next to the university, and the vineyards around the on the hillsides around Vienna, and the palaces, obviously the museums, are all pretty spectacular.
Right. I completely agree, and I think, everyone knows about the skyline of Vienna, the cultural sites, the St. Stephen's and so on, the museums, all of that's fantastic. But what I want to highlight too is that there's plenty of kind of hidden beautiful spots in Vienna. We have lots of different districts with different moods, different atmospheres, different historical legacies. So I would say look at the obvious sightseeing places, but also look beyond and try to find smaller and interesting spots, and they're kind of all over the city. So everything is worth visiting almost.
Well, I would say, I don't know if there is a particular moment that would be my favorite. I would say there's one that I remember fondly and I had a lot of fun at, and that was the drag bingo that Copenhagen CBS organized. That I found was really fun, unexpected, and enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. Yeah, that's true. No, there's many moments. I think the one I remember really fondly was my first EGOS moment, actually 2007, which was also Vienna by coincidence. And I was a very early stage PhD student, and I thought that I had a horrible EGOS paper. But I went to that sub-theme, and the only thing I remember was that I felt really welcome there. Despite being young, despite being early, we had great conversations, and I think that's when I got hooked with EGOS, and it's one of the reasons why I always love to come back. Well, I would say what's not beautifully imperfect about EGOS? The idea of the general theme, I think, is that organizing is beautifully imperfect, and EGOS is all about organizing. So I would say everything is beautifully imperfect about EGOS.
I'll stick with this answer.
I think that's highly subjective. There's imperfections everywhere, lots of them are beautiful. I would say come to Vienna, have a look, and find your own beautiful imperfections.
Sounds about right.